What's a good word, everyone? It's your boy DKB here. I just want to say thanks for all the support. The channel's been steadily growing, and the number you see below, you can drop a text, shoot a voicemail, any ideas, topics, collabs, etc. you guys want to see. I'll include them in future videos and live streams, and I'll catch you again. Be easy. What's a good word, Jets fans? It's your boy DKB here, and it looks like we are getting some good news on the NFL trade deadline front when it comes to retaining one of our best players, right? In Jermaine Johnson's case, he is in kind of an odd situation, right? We ended up picking up his fifth-year option, even though he's working through the rehab and everything. So obviously Aaron Glenn and his staff thought highly of Jermaine Johnson. You guys know how I feel about him at this point, as really being one of the glue guys in terms of the younger players for this defense, but even someone that can influence the veterans. I think he does have that face of the defense type of personality and persona, and he goes about it the right way, which is important, right? It's not just that he's like a production guy and so he has to be that person, but his words match what he does on the field, which matches his motivation and attitude. And I think overall it just matches what you would say the DNA, as you'll hear the coaching staff talk about it, should look like for this Jets defense. Now, there was a lot more noise coming out recently. We started getting rumors about what his trade value which would be a potential second or third round pick, according to the sources. And from his side of things, he doesn't want to go anywhere, right? And I think that in and of itself is a huge piece. You talk about years and years of losing in a short rookie contract, something that would make guys want to run for the hills as quickly as possible, especially since hitting free agency, or even if you wanted to demand a trade, you're going to have these playoff caliber teams that are looking to shore up things on the defensive line, highly looking to get after you, right? Maybe they're not willing to trade the farm to come get you, right? But they're going to be more motivated to add a guy like you that especially has, the 2 years of contract control before you even really need to get into extension talks, which is something that a lot of teams will love, right? I think one of the odd misconceptions about us needing to be sellers at the trade deadline is that this narrative of we need to just trade off our best guys to stockpile draft picks. For one, there's nothing to say that this staff can adequately replace these guys right now. Two, you don't just dish off talent to help everybody else out, and in turn, that also ends up making your job harder in terms of carving out how you're going to get wins in the NFL, right? So I think back to the first kind of couple statements we heard from this front office and Aaron Glenn when it comes to we want to stockpile and acquire good talent. We're not in the business of giving them away. So I was excited to see the updates here. Jermaine Johnson posted a gift, the Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not leaving situation. Absolutely love it, right? I know he has some earlier tweets where, there was like a questioning emoji or like a thinking emoji, something like that. But he then went in, ended up having an interview, I believe, with Rich Cimini, because the stuff I saw came out via ESPN. But he said, I'm definitely wanted here and I want to stay here. That's been understood, hence the tweet. And apparently he gained this clarity directly from the front office. So whether it was him having a conversation with Darren Muji, or maybe one of the close affiliates, at an executive type level or something, you assume Aaron Glenn gave that sign off and you're not having a separation of thought between Aaron Glenn and the front office and such. But I do feel like this is a smart move. Again, this is a guy that when you want to talk about building around the defensive line, I know Will McDonald's going to get all the hype for his athleticism and hyper productivity when it comes to being able to get after the quarterback when he's actually in a favorable situation. But Jermaine Johnson's the true edge guy that you want. I think I heard Connor Rogers put it best. Will McDonald is a pass rusher. He's not an edge player. He's a Bryce Huff 2.0, if you will, that just happens to see starting level snaps. And much like you see with Bryce Huff, there's a failure when it comes to run defense and such. But Jermaine Johnson's my pick of choice, which is always funny to me as well, because I think back to when people were desperately wanting to pick him in, with the 10th pick, or they thought with the 4th pick, right? The Kayvon Thibodeau, Jermaine Johnson type conversation. And I, to this day, would still be completely against that within those two slots. But at 26, I think he was the right guy to trade up and try to get after. And as he continues to get healthy and stay out there on the field, I think we'll continue to see. Let's not forget that we're not talking about this guy as if he can't reach double-digit sacks. This is someone that we should feel really, really good about having that kind of potential. Can he consistently pull it off? Maybe not, but I think he'll be a continuous force out there on the defensive line. Potentially, you're talking about him reaching his ceiling in the mold of a guy like a Max Crosby or something like that. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are, unless something breaks crazy here or somebody offers up a package that we just can't refuse. Sounds like he'll be in the green and white, and hopefully we can put a lot of these rumors around him specifically to rest. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Appreciate the support as always. I'll catch you again. Peace.